to discuss what's expected on this trip, our Chief Foreign Affairs Editor, Rob Parsons, is with me. And Rob, Russian-Indian relations clearly pretty strong during the Cold War. Yeah. Does it seem to you that this is an alliance that has stood the test of time?
No, I think it has stood the test of time. You're right. It was very strong during the Cold War when India was a key member of the non-aligned movement, and the Soviet Union was very keen to establish good relations with the non-aligned movement. So that is that movement, and the Soviet Union was very keen to establish good relations with the non-aligned movement. So that formed the sort of bedrock of the relationship that you've got today, which developed particularly in the defence area, and we're seeing that continuing to this day. And it should be worth pointing out here as well that it's not just President Putin who's arrived in Delhi for these talks. There's also the Defence Minister, Sergei Shoigu, Sergei Putin, who's arrived in Delhi for these talks. There's also the Defence Minister, Sergei Shoigu, Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister, is there, and Igor Sechin, the head of Rosneft, the Russian oil company, is there as well, very close to Putin as well. So the Russians quite clearly giving this all they've got because they want this relationship to be a success. Since the end of the Cold War, they've rather lost out in the subcontinent, but the economic relationship is still there, but that political clout that perhaps they used to have has begun to disappear. The high point, I suppose, the big feature of this particular visit is quite a controversial one as well, because the Russians have sold the S400 missile defense system, ground-to-air missile defense system, for $5 billion to the Indians. Controversial because the Americans have tried to stop the Indians taking it. Remember too that Turkey has bought this system from the Russians as well, has incurred sanctions to the United States as a consequence. The United States has been threatening sanctions against India, but India, despite the fact that its relationship with the United States is getting better, has ignored the efforts of the Americans to stop it happening. So, there are various different things happening at the same time in this relationship. It is going forward on an economic level, but on a political level, Russia's influence isn't what it was.
Indeed, and therefore this is a relationship that is perhaps more under pressure now than it's been in many decades.
Yeah, I mean, the thing here too is that, both countries are making quite separate geopolitical choices here, geostrategic choices. And at the core of that, for both countries, is China. Russia is getting into an ever closer relationship with China, which is in turn defined by their own relationship with the United States. India is also very concerned, though, with China for completely different reasons. India is concerned because of the pressure that the Chinese are putting on the Himalayan border between the two countries. There were clashes last year, 20 Indian soldiers killed in one clash up in the mountains, an undisclosed number of Chinese soldiers as well. But in addition to that, the Chinese Navy is ever more present in the Indian Ocean. And because of that, the Indians have started to look at other possible alliances, including the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, Quad as it's called, to try and hold the line against China, particularly in the Indo-Pacific. Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, has accused the Americans of playing games with the Indians here and trying to drag them into an anti-Chinese alliance. Others, including the Chinese, have described this as a sort of Asian NATO. It's far from that at the moment. But the fact that the Indians are part of it does suggest that they are realigning their positions, and that although they want to keep that relationship with Russia, the relationship with the United States is growing ever more important for them. I mean, if you look at trade, which is the strong part of the Russian-Indian relationship at the moment, it's only a quarter of the trade between India and the United States.
Rob Parsons, thanks very much indeed. This is just the very beginning of Vladimir Putin's trip, so we'll have more news from that as soon as we get it. Thank you very much.